Good morning to all my dear second year science students and welcome to Zoology online class. That is, I am taking the class after 11 or 12 days. So I think you must have forgotten the things which I have taught you previously. And we have started we had started the sex-linked inheritance. The topic was sex-linked inheritance. Clear? Let me repeat again, that is to sex-linked inheritance. So let me repeat that is the thing which I have taught you previously in brief, by which you can recollect the things. Clear? So what is sex-linked inheritance? So first of all, you come to the what is sex-linked. So our sex chromosome are X and Y. They are the two sex chromosomes in male and Drosophila, and ZW in case of the birds. Clear? So the primary function of the sex chromosome is to determine the sex or to develop the sex organ in case of the male as well as in case of the female. That is, the sex organs are developed due to the presence of X and Y. Clear? The genes which are present in X chromosome and Y chromosomes, these genes are responsible for the development of sex organ. This is the primary function of sex chromosomes. Then the secondary function, that is certain genes of the body character, certain genes of the body characters are attached to the sex chromosome, to the sex chromosomes, and they are called as the sex-linked gene. They are called as the sex-linked gene. And when they are transmitted from generation to generation along with the sex chromosome, they are called as, it is called as sex-linked inheritance. Sex-linked inheritance. Clear? So that is the sex-linked, this is called as the sex-linked inheritance. Clear? Then I have told you that is this sex-linked inheritance was first discovered or first observed by the T.H. Morgan. Then that is the inheritance, the sex-linked inheritance, that is the not similar with the inheritance of Mendel's or the Mendel's principle of inheritance. Mendel's principle of inheritance. It is separated in 2 points than the Mendel's law of inheritance. Clear? Because that is the genes or the body genes which are present in sex chromosome, its alleles or its contrasting genes are not present in, that is the other chromosomes. If it is present in X, then it is not present in Y. If it is present in Y, then it is not present in X. Why? Because these linked genes, that is the genes of the body characters which are attached or which are linked with the sex chromosome, they are present in the non-homologous part of the X and Y chromosomes, X and Y chromosome. So it's that is the opposite segments are absent. So it's alleles or alternate characters is not found in the other chromosome. So this is the first point. Which is found in body chromosomes, which is found in body chromosomes or autosomes, because the autosomes are that is morphic in nature, but here the sex chromosome X and Y, they are heteromorphic in nature, which I have described everything in the previous class. Clear? Then after, another is, that is the result of the reciprocal cross. The ratio of the reciprocal cross is the result of the reciprocal cross are not similar. Clear? I have that is given the example of the red eye and white eye of the Drosophila in the previous class. Clear? So I do not think to repeat again the same thing, and this is the basic things, and which I have told you, that is I will just describe the things in brief. Clear? Then another thing is that is the sex-linked genes are of three types. I have the types of sex-linked genes. Either it is X-linked, that is the genes, or it is Y-linked genes, or it is XY-linked genes. Clear? If the genes or the body, that is the characters of the genes of the body character are attached to this X chromosome, they are called as this X-linked gene. If they are attached into the Y chromosome, then they are called as the Y-linked gene. If they are attached into both the X and Y, they are called as the XY-linked gene. Clear? The most common is X-linked gene, or it is otherwise called as the sex-linked gene. And rarely it is the Y-linked gene, which is Hollandric gene, which is transmitted from only male to the male, not to the female. That is hypotrichosis and ichthyotrix. That is that is hypotrichosis, as well as the example is hypotrichosis and ichthyo, that is the ichthyosis hetrix. Clear? Then the very rare is XY-linked gene, because then that is you come to the X-linked gene and Y-linked genes are complete linked genes. Complete linked gene, you know, that is these genes which has that is very least, that is the capacity for the crossing over, or they do not cross to each other. Here there is no crossing over if it is attached to the X chromosome, and there is no crossing over if it is attached to the Y, because its the opposite segment is absent. Clear? But in case of the XY linked gene, they are present in same loci of the homologous chromosome. Clear? That is, the XY linked genes are present in homologous part of the sex chromosome, that is X and Y. I have told you, from this to this is called as the homologous part, and from this to this and from this to this, they are called as the non-homologous part. Clear? That is, the X-linked genes are and the Y-linked genes are complete linked genes, and the XY-linked genes are the incomplete. Clear? Then I have told you, that is in this previous, that is I have told you, that is the characteristics of the sex-linked genes. The characteristics of the sex-linked genes. That means the sex-linked genes are attached to the sex chromosome, either X or the Y, or both the X and Y. Both the X and Y. Clear? And most of the sex-linked genes are recessive in nature. Most of them are recessive in nature. Then that is the recessive in nature. Then another thing is that the sex-linked genes are attached mostly into the non-homologous part of the sex chromosome. Sex chromosome. Then after, the male always a sufferer, but the female most of the time is a carrier. Why? In case of the female, that is two eggs are present. Two eggs are present. And in case of the male, only one X is present, and another is the Y. And I have told you it is a recessive gene. Sex-linked gene is a recessive gene. Suppose that is the recessive, how this recessive genes is obtained? Due to the mutation. Due to the mutation. Suppose this is the red color and this is the red color. This is the sex-linked gene, red color of the eye, and this is the red color of the Y, and this is the white color of the Y. That is the eye. If it is the female, then it is dominant and it is recessive. You remember this. TT. If that is here is present small t, but the individual is a tau, because it is dominant and it is recessive. Similarly here, since it is dominant, that is the individual is red. When that is the both the recessive will come, then it will be the white, the individual or the female with the white. If both, but in case of the male, only one, that is the recessive gene is present in the X chromosome, is sufficient to make the male as white eye, which we have read in the Drosophila. Clear? So from that region, that is the male is always a sufferer, male is never carrier. Clear? But female most of the time is a carrier but not sufferer. Clear? Then another thing is that the female only, that is the female will, that is the suffer only when it is in, that is the homozygous, that is when both the link, that is the chromosome bears the recessive gene. At that times he will be sufferer or she will be the sufferer. Then the transmission of the sex-linked gene is by the process of, that is the criss-cross inheritance. Criss-cross inheritance. I have narrated criss-cross inheritance. That means that is the characters of the parent. The characters of the parent appears in the F2 generation, not in F1 generation. In the first generation, it does not appear. It appears in the second generation. That means it keeps, that is one generation, or it jumps one generation. That is, if it passes through the male, then it is called as the diandric. Clear? It is passes through the female of the F1 generation, then it is called as the digynic, which I have already, that is discussed in the previous class. Clear? Then you let me start, that is the today, that is the green red color blindness. The green red color or red green color blindness. First of all, that is which are in your course. Clear? So first of all, you come to the, that is the sex-linked trait in men or sex-linked genes in men. In men, there are about 20 sex-linked genes. In men, there are about 20 sex-linked genes. And out of the 20, that is maximum are attached into the X chromosome and some are Y chromosomes. Clear? Then that is the X-linked genes, that is are maximum, and the among them, that is the color blindness as well as the hemophilia are the two, that is the subject are present in your, that is the course. So first you come to the, today I will, that is the complete the color blindness. Color blindness. What is color blindness? Color blindness is a genetical disorder disease. Is a genetical disorder disease, and by which the sufferer cannot recognize the exact color of the object. So this is a color blindness. That is, his eye cannot recognize the color of the object, and this was first pointed out by, that is, the scientist Johann Dalton. That is the Johann Dalton. It was first, that is, observed by the Johann Dalton, but later on its study was carried out by Horner. That is, the study was carried out by the Horner, and that is it was first observed by the Dalton in 1792, and it is 1862. It is in 76, not 62. That is 76. Clear? So you come to that is among the color blindness. That is green, red and green, that is the color blindness is common. Red and green color blindness is common. Red and green color blindness is common. Red and green color blindness means that is the sufferer or the individual who cannot recognize the red color as well as the green color. So that type of color blindness is very common. Clear? And why this type of color blindness is occurred? Here, that is the two genes which are present in the eye, that is the body or in the sex chromosome. One is that is called as the proton. The gene is called as the proton for the red color, and deutan for that is the deutan for the green color. These are the two genes. That is, they are defective in these persons which are suffering from this. They are defective. If it is defective in, that is the gene in the proton, then the individual cannot recognize the red color, and the condition is called as the proteinopia. That is, the condition is called as the proteinopia. That is, the condition is called as proteinopia. If that individual cannot recognize that is the green color, that is a green color देखि परिबो नाही, ताने that defect is deuteranopia. That is called as the deuteranopia. Then, if that is the deuteranopia, that is if that is the sufferer cannot recognize the green color. Since due to the defect in this type of genes, that is the pigment, or that is the pigments which are formed in, that is the cone cells of the eye, cone cells, reds, that is the cone, that is the rods and cones are present in the retina of the eye. Here the cones becomes defective. It cannot recognize the red color, and that is the green color. If that is the protein gene is defective, then he cannot see that is the red color, and the condition is called as the proteinopia. If the gene that is deutan is defect, then the individual cannot recognize the green color, and the condition is called as that is deuteranopia. If that is, sometimes there is the individuals are also found they are defect in, that is the blue color. They cannot recognize the blue color. That is the defect. Sufferers are called as the tritanopia. That is tritanopia. That type of defect is called as the tritanopia. But when the individual is unable to recognize any color, then it is called as the achromatopsis. 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 That is, if he cannot recognize any color. Then you come to the that is the expression of the red green color blindness. You come to the that is the red green color blindness. In the red green color blindness, you come to the, are you understanding me or not? That is the, if that is the, in the retina, in the eye, there are three layers. That is the sclera, then the cornea, chorion, and the retina. The retina is the inner layer which having the rods and cones, which having the cells of the rods and cones. The rods are the present which are, that is the responsible for dim lights, and they are present on the sides. At the centers, the cones are present, and the cones are the, that is the recognize the color of the, that is the object. If this cone cells, since that is cone cells having the defective one, that it cannot recognize the color. So this defect is that is different colors are different, that is the pigments are present to, that is the identify the different color. If the protein gene as well as the deuterium genes are defective, then they will, that is the rod cells or the cone cells are a defective one, they cannot recognize the color, or these, that is the cone cells cannot recognize the red color or the green color. Clear? So it is a X-linked gene. So it is due to the X-linked gene. X-linked gene. Clear? So anyway, then it has been found that, clear? It has been found that that is the 4% of the white race and 8% of the, that is black race are suffering from this. That is, जो गोरा लोक माने 4% आ ब्लैकिश माने 8% सफरर होउचंती. आ फीमेल माने मात्र 0.5% सफरर. Because I have told you, females are most of the time are the carrier but not the sufferer. But most of the times male are sufferer. एभलिया जदि थिबो color blindness, they will not get the chance to serve in the, that is the railway department. Karan railway department re, that is the signals are green and red color. They cannot recognize the green color as well as the red color. Clear? So that is after the, that is the written test and viva, then there is the physical, that is the eye test is obtained, and that eye test, under that eye test, if he, that is the individual contains this type of defect, he cannot enter into the, that is the railway department of the signalmen or the, that is the drivers or etc. Clear? In a higher case it is not found. And another thing is that it is located in the X chromosome and it is a recessive one. So you try to, that is the color blindness, how it is transmitted and how it is, that is you try to understand me. If you are not understanding me, then if you are not following me, then you can ask me in the night with my, that is telephone number. Clear? Then we will, that is cross certain, that is the example. Yes, clear. In this case, it is an X-linked gene and it is a recessive gene. So the female is normal in case of XX. Clear? The female is carrier in case of XXC. C is the defective gene which is for the color blindness and attached to the one X chromosome. Clear? And the sufferer female is about, the symbol is like this. Clear? Are you understanding me not? एटा नॉर्मल हला, एटा कैरियर हला, कहीं हला तार जो अपोजिट जो एलिलिटा अछि सेटा डोमिनेंट अछि याको देखैते दला नाही, एंड एठी दीटा जाक रिसेसिव हला. तेणु सपोज इन टीटी पडिचे मेंडल लॉ एंड दिस इज दी टीटी, एटी टॉल हो सिमती एटा रेड, एटा that is the color blind character. So that is the, एटी नॉर्मल, एटा होची रिसेसिव. तेणु नॉर्मल टा डोमिनेट, एटा देखैबो एटा रिसेसिव. क्लियर? and eta recessive eti dita jaka hele dekhebo. Similarly in case of the male, what will be that is the normal XY, that is sufferer. Male is not carrier, the sufferer XCY. Clear? So this is the symbol. Then you come to the, that is the case one by one. That is, here we will find the one thing is normal, that is the normal male and color blind female. You take a cross, for example, normal male with crossed with a color blind female. Clear? Normal male with a color blind female. Normal male means X and Y. This is parent, this is parent. And here color blind female means XC. Hala? Then the gametes X, Y, and here the gametes XC. And what are the F1? This is the carrier female, and this is the carrier female. The female is always carrier, and the male is sufferer. The male is sufferer. Are you understanding me or not? The male, this is female and this is female, both are carrier, and that is the male, and these both the males are sufferer. So you take, that is the cross of the X1 and find the X2. Then the female is of the X, this is the female, this is the female crossed with the male. Clear? What is the gamete? Clear? So what will be the F2 generation? This is carrier, but this is sufferer. Clear? This is normal and this is sufferer. Clear? That is normal and this is sufferer. So that is 25% is sufferer, that is 50%. That is, and here that is 25% is a sufferer in male. In male, 50% sufferer. If it is the male and a female, 50% male, 50% female, then the female is carrier and this is a sufferer. That is 25% is sufferer, and here 25 is normal and 25% is carrier. Clear? So this is the result of that is the normal male and color blind female. It is very easy. जदि तुम बुझीजिव एटा सुविधा करिया पई आ जदि न बुझीव तो एटी किछि घुसी के मन रखि परिबो सब भूलभाल हे जीवो हला मु तुमको सब बेले कहिछि यू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हला एटा एक्चुअली दैट इज द ऑफलाइन क्लास रे भलो हे थांता किंतु तो हमको से सुजोग नाही सो वी हैव टू दैट इज द complete our course. So you come to the second, that is the example. That is the second example is normal female and color blind male. The normal female, you come to the normal female and color blind male. Second, the example second. Normal female, the normal female hale XX, color blind male hale XY. C. Clear? Then gamete asibo XX. Here gamete asibo XCY. This is the gamete and this is the parent. Clear? So F1, the female is carrier and the female is carrier. All the females are carrier. Clear? But here the male is normal. The male is normal. You see. Here ये जो क्रिस क्रॉस देखिथिले एटा होची मेल किंतु एठी मेल आउ सफर रहलानी एटा कोठी F1 ले एठी मेल हलानी किंतु कैरेक्टरटा कहा देई कला फीमेल देई की जाउची तेनो एटा होची डाई गाइनिक तेणु एठू गुटाए में नवा सेठी गुटाए नवा एट क्रॉस करवा यही गुटाए एटा को नवा है तेणु यार गेमेट कौन हम एक्स एंड एक्स सी यार कौन हम एक्स एंड वाई क्लियर तेणु F2 जेनेरेशन दिज आर द गेमेट्स तेणु गेमेट्स ऑफ F2 F1 देन एठी F2 रे कौन पाइबा एक्स एक्स फीमेल एक्स सी एक्स सरी गला देन एपट को आसवा एक्स सी वाई एक्स वाई तेणु केवल मेल ये गोटे सफर है 25% ये मेल केवल गोटे 25% कैरियर एंड daughters are carrier and this is normal and this is carrier this is normal daughter 25 and this is carrier किंतु daughter कहीं सफर है नहीं मेल सफर है 25% so this is all about the second example then you come to the third example तृतीय example को जीवा that is तृतीय example एटा को लिखेवा है then the third example example 3 that is third example then you take then the third example that is normal male and a carrier female normal male and a carrier female you try to understand me if you are that is the in trouble you can that is normal male x and y clear carrier female xc x clear the gametes this is parent and the gametes x y and here the gametes xc x what is the f1 x xc and xc y clear then x x x x x x x x x x ठीक yes so sorry let me draw again so this one x x c x x here x c y x y here the male is sufferer but here the female is carrier and here the one female is normal and one male is normal when one male is normal and one female is normal and another is carrier so this is the third example and if you take similarly then F2 generation then I have carrier I am female देखि सारचे carrier female आउ एटा होची carrier एटा होची sufferer that is the एटा third को आमे जीवा एटा होची normal male आमे एटा नै छे तेनु एटा आउ F2 generation करिवा दरकार नाही तापर आसीबा फोर्थ जनरेशन फोर्थ गोटे एग्जांपल नबा कलर ब्लाइंड मेल एंड कैरियर फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड मेल कलर ब्लाइंड मेल एंड कैरियर फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड मेल और कैरियर फीमेल है कैरियर फीमेल रहा कलर ब्लाइंड है आसीगला है तेणु यार गेमेट कौन हम एक्सी यार गेमेट हम वाई यार कैरियर हूँ एक्सी यार गेमेट हम एक्स तेणु ये देखा एक्सी एक्सी एटा फीमेल सफरर आ गोटे आसला एक्स एक्सी एटा हूँ कैरियर क्लियर तापर एठी आसीबा एक्सी वाई एटा सफरर एक्स वाई एटा हूँ नॉर्मल एटा सफरर एटा हूँ कैरियर एटा हूँ सफरर किंतु एटा हूँ नॉर्मल एटा हूँ नॉर्मल दैट इज एमिति ट्रांसमिट हम तेणु एटू सब रिजल्ट रु आम कौन कले ना आ गोटे नवा आ गोटे एग्जांपल अच्छी दैट इज द फिफ्थ एटा हूँ फिफ्थ फोर्थ एग्जांपल है देन अनदर एग्जांपल फिफ्थ एग्जांपल कौन सेटा ना दैट इज द कलर ब्लाइंड मैन एंड कलर ब्लाइंड फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड मैन एंड कलर ब्लाइंड फीमेल जोटा से आम छाड़ दी जाए है कलर ब्लाइंड मेल एंड कलर ब्लाइंड फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड फीमेल कलर ब्लाइंड मेल XCY एटी हूँ XC एटी किए ही छाड़ा पाइबेनी एटी समस्ते कलर ब्लाइंड हेबे हला तेणु एटी कौन हम XCY दिस इज XC दिस इज XC तेणु दिज आर द गैमेट्स देन F1 ले कौन हम XC एठू आसला XC दिस इज फीमेल सफरर XC दिस इज सफरर सिमिलरली XCY and XCY these are all sufferer एटी कहीं छाड़ पाइबे नहीं these are all sufferer है but disease person clear from this we conclude that from that is 5 example or 5 crossing we conclude that color blindness more common in male than the female कलर ब्लाइंडनेस बेसिक कमन है कौटी मेल रे फीमेल ले कम है मेल्स आर नोवर कैरियर केउटी आम देखिले ना मेलटा कैरियर सब बड़े फीमेल कैरियर बहुत बड़े आउ कौन कहूँ दि रिसेसिव जीन नीडेड टू प्रोड्यूस द कलर ब्लाइंड इन दैट इज द फीमेल यदि दुईटा हेल्ले फीमेल हम आ गोटे हेल्ले मेल हम कही सारे दुईटा हेल्ले कहीं आउ थे कहीदे दैट इज यहाँ है फीमेल XX कलर ब्लाइंड गोटे कैरेक्टर रहा एपटे एटा रहा C किंतु यार नॉर्मल जीन रो किए डोमिनेंट C तेणु यहाँ है म्यूटेशन होती कलर ब्लाइंड हो खराब हो जाए तेणु ये आउ कौन करुच्ची ना कलर ब्लाइंड आउ ये भल भाव में तैयारी करें कौन ना दैट इज द प्रोटेनोफिया जीन डिफेक्ट किंबा ड्यूटेरोफिया जीन डिफेक्ट तेणु ये कौन है ना ये जेहेतु नॉर्मल तेणु आपको सप्रेस कर दूची किंतु जदि दी साइड रे सी ताने ठी नॉर्मल रहिबो नाही से कलर ब्लाइंड मस्ट हम मेल केस रे कौन हम ना मेल केस रे गुटिए X आउ तार Y नाही तेणु एटी सब बेले से सफर हम ताको सप्रेस करिया पई ता एग्नेस्ट रे जीन रहिला नाही तेणु मेल इज ऑलवेज सफरर एंड द फीमेल इज मैक्सिमम टाइम कैरियर आउ लेस इज सफरर so with this I think you are understanding me and with this I finishing the today's class and into the next class I will start the hemophilia clear